Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and today we're going to be exploring what I've seen as super popular on the Facebook groups around whiskey, but this is the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. This is similar to the 1910 that Old Forester does. Yep. So they do their normal aging, and then they
put it back in.
Put it into another barrel. Slight difference. So the 1910 is lightly toasted and heavy charred.
They flip it.
This is heavy toasting with a light char. So doesn't quite add as much color, but it should add a lot more of the toasting is going to bring out more of the sugars from the wood. So the vanillas and the caramels and things like that. Outside of that,
I mean, this one, the first release was in February of 2012.
Yep.
What we've come across, it kind of sits in that second barrel for a little under a year, and then it's bottled.
But it's basically the same, like the Master's Distill. If it's the exact same juice, just thrown into that second barrel. So that's kind of the comparison. If you've had any regular Woodford Reserve, if that's your jam and you want to try something with a little bit different, that's what this is for. And we got a bottle kill.
Another one bites the dust. It's got a good nose. Very sweet.
Yeah, there's a lot of sugary notes in that. That second barreling definitely kicked through.
Pick up a lot of vanilla.
Yeah, heavy vanilla. So the mash bill for the regular Master's Distill Woodford Reserve is 72 corn, 18 rye, 10% malted barley. It's the exact same thing with the extra 9-ish months in the second barrel. 90.4 proof. Solid. It's in that right ballpark. Super sweet on the nose.
Initial taste, you still get the sweetness, but
there's toasty notes.
Toasty, kind of dries up though.
There's a little oak that comes through on that. Yeah, there's a little bit of an oak. It's not, I know we've sampled other ones that are way worse where the tongue just completely dries out. There's a little bit of an oak note that sits underneath there, but there's more of a toasted, that toasted wood really comes through as a toasted caramel or a toasted sweet note in there.
Caramel lingers.
Yeah.
But aftertaste is strong caramel.
It's good.
I think it's pretty good.
That's very good. That's a very good pour. MSRP for this, somewhere 50, 60 range, right in that ballpark. And you can decide, again, I think we've had another conversation we've had before is if you compare this to other things that are double barreled, like the 1910, right in the same ballpark. You compare it to regular Woodford, it's a $20-ish plus premium. It's a little heavy.
I like Woodford.
How much better is this compared to regular Woodford? I don't know. It's different. There's definitely different notes, different flavors that are coming through. Kind of, I guess, your preference.
I'd like to go back and do the double, this one versus the 1910.
That would be a fun little. That would be a fun little, double.
The double barreling.
The double barreling side by side. Well, I think you still have a good chunk of 1910, and I got a whole bottle of that sitting down here. So I think we might be able to pull that off.
Well, next time you come over, just bring it.
There you go. Yeah, the sweetness really comes through. There's a nice little oaky note that's there, but it's not an overpowering note.
There's some fruit.
Yeah, there's a darker, like a dark fruit that kind of comes through. It doesn't sit long.
No.
It's not a flavor that really sits. The finish does not go really long. Not in a bad way. It doesn't just disappear and like it doesn't have any body to it. It just makes you kind of want to go back and have a little more. Not a bad thing.
Yeah. I could use a little heavier pour, but
that's what happens when we're trying to kill off some bottles and make some room on shelves is where we're at. But there's a pretty decent amount of oil. It's not heavy, but color's nice. Not as dark as the 1910. But this feels like it's got picked up a lot of the sweeter notes out of that second barrel versus a lot of the char toast, like that char note really came through more in the 1910. So preferences, I guess. or what you're in the mood for that night. I mean, that's the kicker is I like the 1910. I really like this. It all depends on how I'm feeling that day, right?
Well, that's the nice thing with your collection here. It depends, you've got all kinds of options for how you feel.
Yeah. Sometimes I get in that analysis paralysis of, what am I feeling right? Oh, I could have that. No, maybe I want. Yeah. So
I'll have to say, I have not seen this bottle out on the shelves in a while in a couple of places that I go to. I've seen the regular Woodford.
I've seen some store picks, not just the regular double barrel. I've definitely seen there's the store pick. Like I said, a lot of the Facebook groups are getting like, this is a hot item. The double oak Woodford is a hot item. There's a lot of people doing store picks around that, which could be interesting. Mine might be a store pick. I'm not even sure. Yeah, it's not as like just a standard is not quite.
It's interesting to find out though. Is this gonna be one of those? It's only released every September, or
is it a time of year thing, or I don't know the answer to that. Or if it's driven enough attention that people really want to do it as their single barrel picks, maybe they can't do their own because so much is going to single barrel picks. That's the joys of being super popular is sometimes your availability of product starts to run into issues. I'm going to say overall, it's a solid pick. It's a solid.
If you get it $50, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's a very solid pour. It'd be fun to do an AB against regular Woodford. I haven't. It's been a little while since I've had regular Woodford, so I'd like to do that as an AB. I like the idea of doing some things that are, fresh double barreled. So this gets to count officially as a bourbon because each time it was a new char oak. So
it keeps that bourbon status.
It keeps that status. Though boy, there's a lot of arguments over whether or not bourbon is bourbon or is Jack Daniel's bourbon. Man, watching the arguments is really kind of funny.
It's a Tennessee whiskey in my mind.
I totally agree, just more because we're in Tennessee and I like that it's something like a classification.
The double charcoal filter.
Yes, the filtration is a little different than what they're doing, but is it really that different? No, it's not that different other than the one filtration cycle.
Argue, though. I think they're pretty good with
I don't think they care as long as people are buying it, right?
They are. So, there's a couple more in the Woodford lineup.
Yeah.
They've got the wheated. They have the malted
bar. Yeah, right.
And I think they've got a rye. I feel like there's one more.
Distiller's Select. Do they have? I don't know. It's not. It's funny. It's a line I don't mind. Like I'll drink it, and I've bought it before. It's not something that I actually go out of the way to look for, though. It's really. It's just kind of rolls under the radar.
When you get the handle of it, that's a pretty cool bottle.
Yeah, because it's the same shape, just like big.
Huge.
Right. Yep. Yeah. This is a very good sweet whiskey that I don't think anybody would have any issues having a sip on this. 90 proof, very solid, 90.4, whatever. Very solid proof. It's not going to be washed out, but it's not an overly complex flavor profile. It's not something that lingers. It's pretty straightforward, but very good.
I don't think any cube. Maybe a little water. Maybe open it up just a little bit more. But
maybe. I'd be interested.
But I think
that would
it's
be interesting.
Sweet enough that you don't need it over a cube.
I don't think so. And at 90, it's not. It's not over.
The heat's not gonna get to you.
There's not even a warmth off of that. So it's a smooth pour.
Yeah. But again, overall, I think $50 if you can find the bottle, especially a store pick.
Yeah, go for it.
You always want to pick those up from your go-to shop.
Absolutely, it helps them out. Yeah, those store picks tend to help them out, and it makes you known as a good customer.
Yes, absolutely. Well, like we mentioned, we'll have a few more in the Woodford lineup to go through, but this is our first first bottle into the
It is.
lineup. So
It is.
hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, we're going to have a few more, so we'd love for you to circle back and watch those when they're released. We'd encourage you to hit the like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, subscribe to the channel. You can hit the bell icon and get notified, and then leave us a comment. You know, what do you think of the double oak for Woodford? Is there a particular Woodford that you really like, or you know, or the comparisons? What's another comparison maybe of a double oak? Maybe we can throw in another bottle, a third or a fourth bottle. That, you know, we're looking for show ideas. We're looking for bottles to go do a little hunt on, all that kind of fun stuff.
So, until the next episode, thanks for joining.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.